My name is Susan Martin and I'm from Smart in Planning. So Smart in Planning is a merchandise planning company, and that's my background. I've been in merchandise planning specifically for 25 years. So my career started back in South Africa with a company called the Fashini Group. I think they're commonly called TFG now. And that's where I got my grounding in planning, and then I moved to Australia in 2001 and have worked for a variety of different retailers here and started Smart in Planning nearly 5 years ago. I think it's critically important. I don't think it maybe gets enough attention, but merchandise or inventory is one of the biggest investments that a business really makes, and so making the decisions around that really carefully with a bit of science as well as a bit of art, because of course, you know, retail is a dynamic space, but making those decisions as informed as you can, I think, is critically important, and so merchandise planning is all about how that inventory is invested and can really unlock profitability for a business, reducing markdowns, reducing overstocks, and really running your stock at the optimal level to get the best you can out of your sales and your profit. So yeah, in terms of challenges, of course there are a lot, and everybody has lots. I think one of the ones early in my career actually, I had started off on a fast-track trainee program, which gave me a great opportunity to move forward in my career really quickly, and I wanted to maintain that. And then I reached sort of a lull where the business wanted me to do my time, and I think there's merit in that. I definitely think you can't rush aspects of your experience, but we landed up in a little bit of a tussle as to what that would look like, and I was told to work within my sphere of influence, so to find ways to do things within my sphere of influence, and I had proactively done that for some time, and then it did occur to me that it was within my sphere of influence to move my sphere of influence, and that just made me think about the whole challenge, through a different lens or from a different perspective, and so I think that's one of those things, not getting caught looking at a problem just one way. Think about other angles, other perspectives on that problem, and how else could you approach it, because what that actually did for me was it opened up a whole different direction, and in the end that advice helped me, but not the way I thought it would. I don't think I have a quote that inspires me every day. I think I more have a drive towards service, and probably a little bit of unrelenting standards. I think everything that I do in my career and actually in my life, it's not so much about perfectionism, but I think it's a drive for getting the optimal output. So yes, that's a planning thing, but I think it's how I approach most things, and I think my passion for service, because I originally actually wanted to go into hospitality, not retail, I think that I've translated that into my career because I am so solution-oriented and people-oriented. I think I've somehow bundled those together into this problem-solving service thing that I always come back to as my center. So yeah, not a catchy quote, but maybe something inside me that I'm kind of drawn by. I think for people who are looking to get into merchandise planning, it's a bit of a difficult one, because merchandise planning can mean a lot of different things depending on how evolved a particular company is in their planning journey, and so I think it is really important to research the company and try and get a good understanding of how established is planning, who are the people who are a part of that planning team, and who could develop and mentor you through your career, give you a good solid grounding. I was really lucky to have the start that I did, giving me a good solid foundation. So I think that's one aspect, is to really understand where you're going. And that's not to say that a company that has a less established planning structure isn't a good place to start. Certainly in the time that I've been in Australia, I've had lots of opportunity to start with a blank page, and that can be a really accelerated learning curve, so long as you've got some people that you can lean on for some good planning practice and input, so that you can really grow in that career and influence through doing your planning role. And I think not specifically for planning, but just, there's that expression, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. I think it's always good starting in your career to be that person that takes stuff on and tries things and is a useful person to have around, because that just gets you drawn into more projects and more areas that you can get exposure and grow your skills.